Hello, Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and I had someone ask me what does it look like to cut eyeglass lenses. So I'm going to demonstrate today on the RayBan 5121 color 2000, which is the classic shiny black in the 50 eye size. This is the original packaging that RayBan sends it to me, and of course when you purchase you will be receiving all the original manufacturer's packaging, the RayBan case, the RayBan cleaning cloth. We'll set all that down, and a little piece of plastic sleeve they put on the left temple to protect the temples from rubbing together during shipping. And of course you're going to receive all that from me as well too. Now these are the original, what we call demo lenses. They are cheap plastic lenses. The left one says RayBan on it, and I'm going to take these out to put in high quality ophthalmic lenses. And of course you will receive all of this too, just so in case you ever wanted to sell these glasses years from now, you will have all of the manufacturer's original packaging, how it comes straight from RayBan. So I'm going to take, this is the classic Wayfarer frame. Of course the RayBan sunglass version of this is the 2140, and they call it the original Wayfarer. This is simply known as the Wayfarer. That doesn't include original. This is what's known as ophthalmic, because it's designed to have prescription lenses put into it. So this is why it's called the Wayfarer, where the sunglasses is called original Wayfarer. Same shape lens, same weight, same feel. They just put a different print on the inside. This is the RB 5121 color 2000 in the 50 eye size. So let's go ahead and put the unit into the tracing. Where's my stylus? Here it is. I'm going to bring up the stylus and hit start. And of course the first thing that's going to happen is the stylus is going to pop up and trace the shape of the right lens before moving over and tracing the shape of the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed with quality. You buy a genuine, authentic RayBan frame, you receive free, clear, single vision prescription lenses, or in this case non-prescription fashion lenses, because if you have vision insurance or flex dollars in your 2020 but you still want a really nice pair of geek chic glasses, my receipt has my federal ID tax number and I can ship it to you, and you will get your money back from your insurance company or for your flex dollars. Now these are the lenses that I'm going to put on here. Let me take one out of the block, out of the sleeve. This is known as a block. I need to attach this to your lens for when it cuts. So I'm going to put your lens into the blocker. Now if this were prescription I would have to orient it just right, but because these are non-prescription there's no right or wrong way to put them in. So I'm going to peel this off. The green sticker is the sticky side, and I'm going to hit this button and it's going to make the arm come down and apply the block to the lens. Let's go ahead and do the left lens. Of course this could be right or left since there's no prescription. Put this onto the pad, grab a block out, pull the sticker off the block, put that on there, and then this automatically flips to the left. That is the shape of the left lens. In fact, if I were to shrink this is magnified now, but if I were to shrink it down, that's the exact shape. If you can see that green outline on the lens that I move around to center it to make sure it's put on there perfectly. Back to magnify. Don't know why, it's the way I always do it. And then I'm going to hit the button that's going to make the arm come down and apply that to the lens. Now let's go ahead and make this the right lens since it doesn't matter. I'm going to pull the shape up onto the computer screen. That is the shape of the final lens for the right. Even though I know it's the right lens, it's just imposed differently, so I hold the left lens up to show you that. I'm going to put the actual cutting wheel is back here on the far right. That's what's going to, it's like a heavy grit sandpaper that's going to grind your lens material down to its final shape. This wheel in the center, if you can see that little channel, that valley, that's what's going to put the bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. And then this little blade right there is what's going to put on what's known as a safety bevel. It's going to smooth out the back of the lens and then the front surface of the lens for it to pop in. That little silver piece is a magnet, and that is going to hold the lens in place right there. That red button, green, am I colorblind? That green button I will press to start everything. The door will close. That clamp will come down. Actually, hang on, stop. I got ahead of myself. I want to cut this on the soft cycle because of the anti-glare coating, and I do not want to polish the lens. Now I can hit the green button. It is now going to trace, the two styluses will trace the front and back of the lens at the same time to make sure this is large enough to fit into the frame, and it is. But if this were a very strong prescription, the reason it does that is measuring the thickness of the lens at every point. Now you have 1.5 millimeters of thickness on this lens at every point going around it, since it is non-prescription. But when it is a thicker prescription, it is measuring the thickness all the way around to know where to apply the bevel so it fits best inside the frame. But of course this is going to fit perfectly inside the frame. Now these lenses are ophthalmic grade. They're polycarbonate. Polycarb is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. It is virtually unbreakable. It is bulletproof up to .22 caliber and has both UVA and UVB protection built into it. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. So you have permanent sunscreen for your eyes. Also, the anti-glare coating that you have on here, or as I say, a Triumph anti-reflection hydrophobic coating. Also, hydrophobic means that it hates water, but this is in a good way. It's just like when you wax your car and it rains, the rain beads right off. You never have to use a liquid to clean your lens again. Whatever liquid you apply would bead right off of your lens and onto your shirt more than likely if you were wearing it in the rain. But you only need to use the cloth, the RayBan cleaning cloth that I will provide, as well as instructions on how to care for your RayBan cloth and case so that it will last you for years. All of that you get for free as well. Now the anti-glare coating, it's 3 features in one. The anti-glare portion eliminates glare when driving at night, as well as driving at night in the rain. But street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead fluorescent lights. Here is a lens. Let me go ahead and take this out. Of course, the first thing I want to do is dry the lens off so it's not slippery. But where's my water bottle? Where's my water bottle? Oh, it vanished, it disappeared. But I was going to squirt water on there to show you how it just beads right off the surface now. You never have to use a spray cleaner to clean your lenses again. But I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner first. Then using my thumbs, I press down at the nose. Now it does not fit, so I'm going to take a little bit more off. The golden rule, you can always cut more off of a lens, you can never add it back on there. So I'm going to take 1/4 millimeter off, hit the retouch button. And for those of you keeping score at home, a millimeter is the distance between my thumbnails. I'm going to take 1/4 of that distance off. The 5121, as well as the original Wayfarer, has a very deep, thick bevel, so it's not uncommon to have to take a little bit more off every time. Of course, the golden rule, as I stated, you can always cut more off of a lens, you can never add it back on there. So I start a little bit large and work my way down until it's a perfect fit. Now years from now, if you ever need prescription lenses, you'll be able to pop these out and I can mail you just the lenses only to your home, and you'll be able to pop them in after watching the video. But the anti-glare coating, of course I stock thousands of prescriptions, both without anti-glare and with the anti-glare coating. But here's a lens without it. You can see how the fluorescent lights from overhead reflect on the lens in my right hand, but not on the left. So again, it eliminates glare when driving at night, especially from oncoming lights in the rain, but street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead lights, forgive me for repeating myself. But it's also a reflection-free lens. You don't see the reflection, so if someone's looking at you, they're not looking at their reflection in your glasses. So it makes for much better eye contact. And the #1 reason people buy it, the cosmetic value. If someone takes a picture with a flash, you won't see the flash lit up in the lens. And of course the third feature that I like, the practical side, is that it comes with the best scratch protection in the business. The machine that applies the anti-glare coating costs $1 million, at least it did years ago. I'm sure they cost more now. And it actually takes 24 hours. It's 7 different layers that they vaporize onto the lens. Let me tuck this in again first and I'll continue that. But I tuck the lens in at the outside corner using my thumbs. I press down at the nose and now it snaps in perfectly. And so let me go ahead and flip this over to L and hit, oops, wait, stop. I don't have the lens in there. You can't do nothing, hit stop. Let me in, let me in. I'm talking and get ahead of myself. So I'm going to put the lens into the chuck, or as I like to call it, the Charles, because I don't know the machine well enough to call it chuck. Now I will hit the green start button. And just like before, the calipers are going to come down, but this time they're going to trace the shape of the left side of the frame to make sure this lens is large enough to fit in there. And of course, measuring the thickness of the lens at every point of the lens to know exactly where to place it so it will fit best inside the frame. Of course, these being non-prescription, it's going to fit in there perfectly. In fact, let me show you. You have no edge thickness whatsoever. And the other nice thing about these lenses is it's an aspheric lens. Aspheric simply means not round. A round lens gives you that ugly cosmetic fishbowl appearance. And so when you buy lenses from people, they charge you for plastic lenses. Then if you want to upgrade to the thinner, lighter weight, unbreakable polycarb, you have to pay an upgrade fee. And then if you want the aspheric lenses, you have to pay another upgrade fee. So this is someone else's top tier premium lens that you get for free when you buy glasses from me. Now, you pay the upgrade to the anti-glare coating. And as I was mentioning, the anti-glare coating, it's vaporized. You have something that looks like a turtle shell, a round shell with clips, and each lens is held in there with clips, and they vaporize into a pressurized chamber, 7 different colors with the exception of green. That's why you see a little bit of a green hue. That's why an apple is red. You remember this? And the sky is blue from kindergarten? But they put the best scratch coating in the business because it is a $1 million machine to apply that, and it takes 24 hours. So they want to put the best scratch coating that they can to protect their investment. Now in just a moment the left lens will be done. I'll take it out and we'll make sure that it fits perfectly. Once we get the sizing right on the right lens, even though we had to take it down a little bit more, and the machine knows that and automatically sets it to match for the left lens. So this should fit first time around. I'm going to open the chuck up, take the lens out, which is held in place by that little silver magnet. Dry your lens off so it's not slippery. And again, to mount the lens, I tuck it in at the outside corner. Then using my thumbs, I press down at the nose and it snaps in perfectly. Oops, oops. I have that there to dry the chucks off. I'll put that there. Dry your lens, and that is it. Now, before I ship to you, one of the things I want to do, of course I'm going to clean everything off and inspect for blemishes as I hold this up to the light. Perfect. I couldn't have done it better if I cut it myself. But I'm going to get your frame in standard alignment, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I put them on the counter and I press down. When I say, and there is no wobble, when I say no wobble, 80% of people have an ear that's higher than the other. I'm no different. So when I press down on my glasses, they wobble. So when you get these in the mail, if they're too loose or they're too tight, or 80% of the time one side is going to sit higher than the other, that's because 80% of people have one ear that's higher than the other. That's why 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments. But I'm going to make sure they're in standard alignment before I ship to you. So again, I put them on the counter, press down, there is no wobble. I flip them over, press down, there is no wobble. I close each temple to make sure the temples line up perfectly. And of course on the 5121, same as the original Wayfarer, model number 2140, it has the triple barrel metal hinges. Now this is modeled after the original Wayfarer. I am wearing the new Wayfarer with my prescription. Slightly different shape, sits in a little bit closer, feels a little bit differently. But mine only has, of course I can't see what I'm zooming in on now without my glasses on, but it only has the single barrel metal hinge. It's not nearly as sturdy. Of course, this is a great frame that I'm wearing, but this thing you could almost drive over with a tank. 2 rivets on each side and the triple barrel. So when I say triple barrel, you have 3 hinges that go together like this, and then the screw goes through there. So that is extremely strong and durable. So if you have any questions about what I can or can't do, just email me at freeprescriptionlenses@gmail.com. And I hope you enjoyed watching as I made this pair of glasses, and everyone else has got the chance to see how I bring that love and feeling back to glasses. Thank you.